usual same boat. The issue here is that parents are seeing their children left at the side of the road. That's the bottom line. Whether we like it or not, that's what's happening throughout South Kildare and the border counties of Laois and Offaly. And I just wanted to read two quick quotations from parents, because I think they reflect what's actually happening. The first one: I've been refused bus tickets that we've had over the last number of years. We are now left with no option but to pay €60 per week for taxis. Other than that, I will have to give up work. The second one: I have been on to the bus provider last week and yesterday again. The bus goes by my door each day with 5 to 6 empty seats in the morning. There are more in the afternoon because some parents go and drive to school to collect their children. The bus holds 32 children, but the bus operator cannot tell me how many empty seats are on the bus each day because he has not been provided with that information. This is what's going on, Minister. Nobody knows how many spaces are available. Nobody knows what's going on. Why can't we allow over 70s to drive buses? Minister, we need solutions. Thank you, Caroline.
And I would like to thank the senators for raising these matters today. Before I address the specific issues raised, I would like to provide an outline of the very significant extent of the school transport scheme, which provides transport on a daily basis to tens of thousands of children across the country, to both mainstream and indeed special education settings. The purpose of the school transport scheme is having regard to available resources to support the transport to and from school of children who reside remote from their nearest school. In July of 22, Government announced funding for the waiving of school transport scheme fees for the 22-23 school year. And this was part of an extraordinary cost of living measure package. The measure has saved families up to €650 per year. School transport ticket registration for the 22-23 school year closed on the 29th of July, by which time almost 130,000 applications or registrations were received for mainstream school transport. This figure includes 44,299 new applications, as well as rollovers from the previous school year, indicating the very strong level of demand for tickets. Already 124,000 tickets for the mainstream scheme alone have been issued to applicants. At the start of the last school year, there was approximately 103,000 children carried on mainstream school transport services, so already in the region of 21,000 additional places have been created and have been created free of charge. There has been an increase in tickets allocated across all counties, and we are continuing to process applications and to issue tickets as soon as extra buses and drivers are sourced and become available to provide transport for the higher numbers qualifying for the service. However, regrettably, unprecedented numbers of new applications for the upcoming school year has led to some delays in issuing tickets. The normal eligibility criteria of the scheme still applies, and tickets continue to be allocated in line with this criteria. Pupils at primary level are eligible where they live no less than 3.2 kilometres from their nearest primary school, and at post-primary level, students who live no less than 4.8 kilometres from and are attending their nearest or next nearest post-primary school are eligible. Any pupils who do not meet these criteria are deemed not eligible, or otherwise known as concessionary applicants, and are allocated a ticket, as has been previously the case, based on availability of a seat when all eligible children have been catered for. In line with normal practice, all eligible children who completed the application and ticket registration process on time for the 22-23 school year will be accommodated on school transport services where services are in operation. In addition, pending completion of the outcome of the full review of the school transport scheme, temporary alleviation measures at post-primary level do continue for the 22-23 school year. And as I've previously outlined, these measures will provide transport for students who are attending their next nearest post-primary school. With regard to the review of the school transport scheme, the Department commenced a review of the school transport scheme in February of 21. The review is being conducted with a view to examining the current scheme and how it currently operates, its broader effectiveness and sustainability, and that it adequately supports the provision of services to students and their families. The review encompasses the school transport scheme for children with special education needs also. The review of the primary and post-primary school transport scheme will examine each element of the scheme and includes eligibility criteria, trends, costs, cost drivers and overall effectiveness in meeting the objectives of the schemes. The review will also examine the potential for integration of different strands of the scheme and a more coordinated approach with other governmental departments that also use transport services. Wider considerations relating to operation of the scheme are also taking place in the current phase of the review. As part of the current phase of the review, the Technical Working Group has undertaken extensive consultation, including running a public survey for parents and guardians and students who use the service and those who do not use the service but would like to use the service. These engagements have yielded extensive data for consideration. The group has also consulted with a broad array of stakeholders, including schools, special education interest groups, industry representatives and other government departments. While work on the review was impacted somewhat by the challenges of the pandemic and the impact of the current conflict in Ukraine, it is anticipated that the final phases of the review will be completed shortly, with recommendations on the future operation of the Department's school transport scheme. The steering group will continue to report to me on an interim basis as regards the progress of the review. Thank you, Cathaoirleach.
Reply. Minister, we cannot wait for reviews. Colleagues have said that. The incident that I gave you of the child, that's a special needs child. I didn't say that in my initial contribution. She's losing school days because she can't get to school. But the school bus is going past her door with 5 to 6 empty seats. We need to contact those operators and ask them how many people are on their bus, how many spare spaces they have. We need to ensure that those over 70 can actually drive our buses. And Local Link have a huge part to play on this as well. I have an incident where Local Link, a great Local Link was announced, and we asked if they could go at 4:15 to accommodate schools. The answer was no, because they have to go at 4 o'clock. So now those that could accommodate themselves on Local Link cannot do now. It's joined up thinking, Minister, but it has to happen now. Children are on the side of the road. Parents are handing in their notice, Minister. It's an urgent issue, and everyone in this House knows that government need to act. Thank you, Cathaoirleach.
Thank you, Senators. I do want to be clear from the outset that it's important to note that when the announcement was made, it was made in relation to those who avail of the school transport system and are eligible for it. There was no change of criteria in that respect. It was made very clear for those who were eligible for the school transport scheme. So there was no change in relation to that. I think it is significant to note the numbers that this time last year we had 103,000 tickets issued and students availing of it. At this point, we have 124,000